Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Empowering First-Class Leadership, Leveraging Low and No-Cost Cybersecurity Services. I'm thrilled to have you with us as we explore practical solutions that can help you strengthen your cybersecurity posture without hopefully straining your budget. As you know, local governments are increasingly targeted by cyber threats. With limited resources, it can feel overwhelming to protect your systems and your data. That's why today's sessions will focus on low and no-cost resources available from key organizations that offer invaluable support to local governments like yours. Before we dive in, just a quick housekeeping note. To ensure a smooth experience for everyone, attendees' video and audio will not be shared to avoid distractions. We will want to make the most of our time together and ensure the content flows seamlessly for all attendees. I also want to say that I'm happy to support your journey beyond today's webinar. If you have any follow-up questions or need guidance about your path forward, feel free to reach out to me via email or connect with me via LinkedIn. I'd be happy to assist. I'll provide my contact details at the end of today's session. Thank you again for being here today. This is an opportunity to gain practical knowledge that will make a real difference in your cybersecurity posture. With that, let's begin, and I hope you enjoy today's session. Today's session is designed to give you actionable insights that can strengthen your cybersecurity defenses. Here's what you can expect. I'll quickly introduce myself before providing a high-level situational awareness, which is a brief overview of the current cybersecurity threat landscape. We'll talk specifically about the state of Pennsylvania today. This will give you important context on why cybersecurity is more critical than ever, especially for local governments. The meat of today's presentation will be focused on low and no-cost tools and resources, exploring tools and services provided by MS-ISAC, which is Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center. If you're not a fan of acronyms, today will be a struggle, but I'll do my very best to make sure that I'm calling out what all of those acronyms mean. Also, we'll be digging into the Center of Internet Security, which is also known as CIS. And last but certainly not least, Cybersecurity Infrastructure and Security Agency, also known as CISA. These solutions are designed to help you improve your security posture without breaking the bank. My name is Mike Smetana, and I have the privilege of serving as the Chief Innovation and Technology Officer at HRG. In this role, I'm fortunate to collaborate with some truly talented and inspiring colleagues. At HRG, my focus is really twofold. Internally, I work to ensure we're leveraging the right technologies to empower our workforce, streamline processes, and drive operational excellence. Externally, I explore how emerging technologies are reshaping the world around us, helping our clients and the communities that they serve stay ahead of the curve and unlock new possibilities. Prior to HRG, I spent 20 plus years at Michael Baker International, where I started as an intern, worked in almost every facet of the IT organization before being named VP of IT. At MBI, I hired our company's first Chief Information Security Officer and formed the first cybersecurity team of professionals. I also, along the way, acted as an independent contractor for various firms and water authorities, providing technical thought leadership in a number of different capacity. I live outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in a township called Homeland Township with my family. Enough about me. While cyber attacks on federal agencies often dominate the headlines, local governments are increasingly becoming targets as well. These smaller entities manage essential services such as water, utilities, emergency dispatch systems, and public records, making them attractive to bad actors. Local governments are perceived as easier targets because they often have fewer resources and less robust cybersecurity defenses than larger federal agencies. These attacks can have significant impacts, disrupting daily operations and jeopardizing public safety. Local governments across Pennsylvania have seen an increase in cyber attacks over the past 12 months. The most common attacks include phishing scams, ransomware, business email compromise. Attackers and bad actors are becoming more and more sophisticated, often posing as trusted contacts and using fake alerts to steal information and potentially even encrypting your data set. Thus far in 2024, several Pennsylvania local governments experienced and reported, and that's key. There's a lot of cyber activity that's never reported. What I'm talking about here for this situational awareness is the high-level threats that were reported. A notable case occurred in Bucks County where ransomware attack disrupted the emergency dispatch system for 9 days. Although the 911 phone system remained functional, first responders had to rely on manual processes such as pen and paper for documentation due to system outages affecting vehicle terminals and emergency applications. Another serious incident took place in Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, which is very close to my hometown of Hopewell Township, where the Municipal Water Authority faced a cyber attack in November of 2023. That disabled critical pressure monitoring equipment, and investigations suggested that these attackers were able to get in via a weak or default password, highlighting the vulnerabilities in local infrastructure management. Additionally, out in Washington County, Pennsylvania, there was a report of network outages earlier in January of 2024. That was linked to phishing campaigns that targeted the counties and township servers. This incident prompted swift action, including system shutdowns and coordination with federal agencies to mitigate further damage. These cases illustrate that local governments all around us and throughout the state of Pennsylvania are being targeted. I don't say that to scare you. I say that as matter of fact as possible because it's simply the truth. These incidents serve as a reminder that local governments must remain vigilant, continuously updating their cybersecurity protocols and leveraging state and federal resources to protect critical services and data from malicious actors. Now we'll get into the meat and potatoes of today's presentation, those low and no cost solutions. As cybersecurity becomes front and center for everyone, the good news is that there's many low and no cost services available to help local governments like yours navigate this constantly evolving landscape. In the time we have today, I'll focus on 3 key resources. Again, that's the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center, also known as MS-ISAC, the Center for Internet Security, also known as CIS, and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, also known as CISA. Signing up for these services is simple and membership is free. I encourage you to explore these services, especially if your township does not have a dedicated cybersecurity team. Even in the event that you do have a dedicated cybersecurity team, I would highly recommend leveraging the many tools and resources that these agencies have put forward. Now, let's do a deep dive in each of these amazing resources aimed at enhancing your cybersecurity needs. Starting with MS-ISAC. MS-ISAC is a critical cybersecurity initiative established to bolster the resilience of U.S. state, local, tribal, and territorial governments, also known as SLTT. It operates as a primary resource for collaboration on cybersecurity defense and threat mitigation for public entities. The MS-ISAC is a trusted cybersecurity partner for over 17,000 SLTT government organizations. Their mission is to improve the overall cybersecurity posture of local government, also state, tribal, and territorial government through coordination, collaboration, cooperation, and increased communication. There is no cost to join the MS-ISAC. Membership is open to all SLTT government organizations. The only requirement is agreeing to the terms and conditions, which outlines the member's responsibility to protect the information that is being shared. Membership benefits fall into two categories for MS-ISAC. One is the no-cost MS-ISAC services. We'll cover those today. There are some additional services provided by CIS, which is like the parent of MS-ISAC. Those can be for an additional fee. A little bit of history about MS-ISAC. It's a nonprofit organization managed and operated, again, by the Center for Internet Security, CIS. It's funded by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, DHS. MS-ISAC plays a crucial role in ensuring that smaller government organizations, which often lack extensive cybersecurity resources, can effectively defend against malicious cyber activity. The MS-ISAC was founded with the goal of enhancing security posture back in 2003. It started as a small coalition of states interested in improving cybersecurity solutions. That happened again in 2003. In 2004, the Department of Homeland Security officially recognized the MS-ISAC for all state and local governments, formalizing its relationships with federal cybersecurity framework. In the 2010s, there was quite a bit of growth with the organization. Cybersecurity risk became more pronounced, especially with the rise of ransomware. MS-ISAC expanded to include the tribal and territorial governments, emphasizing the importance of collaboration across various districts. Today, present day, MS-ISAC continues to grow in scope and impact, providing early warning notifications, threat intelligence, and incident response services to its members. It partners with both the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, and the private sector to enhance the security ecosystem. In summary, MS-ISAC has become a cornerstone of cybersecurity efforts for local governments by providing threat intelligence, incident response, and cybersecurity training. It ensures organizations have the necessary tools and resources to defend in the ever-evolving cyber threats. With increasing complexity of cyber landscape, MS-ISAC's role will continue to grow, playing a vital part in protecting critical public infrastructure and enhancing the overall national cybersecurity resilience. I know that was a mouthful. I will now dig into some of the low or no-cost services first. There are many benefits. I've listed some of the more popular benefits here, but as you start to navigate MS-ISAC, you will see that that list far exceeds what I'm showing on the screen. They offer what is called a Security Operations Center, or a SOC, which is a 24/7, 365 joint security operations and analysis unit that monitors everything and analyzes and responds to cyber incidents that are targeting your townships. The SOC provides real-time network monitoring and notification, early cyber threat warnings, and vulnerability identification and mitigation. I can tell you on the private side, to implement a SOC that is a 24/7, 365, eyes on at all times your network is a very, very expensive solution. So the fact that MS-ISAC is offering this as a free service, again, if you're not currently leveraging it, I would highly recommend becoming a member and leveraging that and these other great services. They also offer malicious domain blocking and reporting, also known as MDBR. That's a highly effective, no-cost solution available to MS-ISAC members that proactively blocks network requests from known harmful web domains, helping protect IT systems against cybersecurity threats such as malware, phishing, ransom, etc. Members will receive weekly reports summarizing the potential malicious requests that MDBR has detected, and then it can be implemented very, very quickly with the help of MS-ISAC in about 15 minutes. And really, it's hands off the keyboard for yourself and your team at your township, all maintained by MS-ISAC. Additionally, they are offering a cyber incident response team. So in the event that you have an issue, they offer malware analysis, computer and network forensic, malicious code analysis, and incident response. There's also some external vulnerability assessments that will be available following a cyber incident. Hopefully none of you have gone through a major cyber incident, but if you have, you certainly know an incident response team to come in, go out and get a CrowdStrike of the world. These things are, again, very, very expensive. These are services that are being offered for local governments at no cost. Cannot recommend highly enough that if you're not leveraging these, you certainly should be. They also have a cybersecurity advisory service program. That's a program that's transformative initiative strengthening cybersecurity for the underserved local government, managing IT infrastructure, high priority sectors. So things like election, healthcare, K through 12, water and wastewater systems, etc. You'll receive a tailored advisory service at no cost, addressing unique challenges, empowering your organization with strategic planning, and enhanced cybersecurity posture and maturity. They also have a cyber threat intelligence. That's a team that collects, analyzes, and delivers actionable intelligence to any operators or decision makers responsible for defending local governments away from cyber incidents. It's a real-time bidirectional indicator. It's a sharing platform that makes indications available, again, for yourself and your team as needed. In addition to that, they provide passive threat notification service. It's a constant flow of information, kind of broken into 4 different tiers, targeted vulnerability notifications. Once a vulnerability is disclosed, scans are done on the public-facing side of your organization. They'll provide access to those reports. Initial access broker service, an automated service that combs through forms looking for bad actors, essentially. They have a breach credential service, an automated service that combs through data breaches, websites, looking for content of yours that may be out on the dark web. IP and domain monitoring. It's looking for malicious domains, sites that, again, may contain content, your content that could be out there. So these services, some of these seem redundant, and there is a little bit of overlap, but enrollment in these services requires your organization's public IP, your domains, your email syntax, some username syntax, etc. Again, it's bidirectional. They'll get you, they'll open up your aperture, if you will, to see things that you've likely never seen before as it relates to your cyber defenses or lack thereof. They also offer a foundational assessment. It's a 32-question assessment that addresses foundational cybersecurity questions to get you started with evaluating your organization's current cyber posture. This assessment is aligned to both the NIST cybersecurity framework and the CIS critical security controls. For those who have taken larger assessments before, it is a much kind of pared down version of something like NIST 800-171. They also offer and encourage everybody, all of their members, to participate in what's called the Nationwide Cybersecurity Review. This was approved by Senate and has requested an ongoing effort to chart the nationwide progress as it relates to cybersecurity. DHS has partnered with the MS-ISAC to develop and conduct the nationwide cybersecurity review. It's a no-cost, it's anonymous, it's an annual self-assessment, basically charting your cybersecurity maturity. I just want to touch on one other one here, and that's the CIS Secure Suite membership and the information sharing, cybersecurity awareness, and education. They have a lot of best practices that are out there. They have what's called a tabletop exercise template. So you and your team would go through a what-if scenario, pretend like you've been hacked, walk through that tabletop exercise. They provide all of that content out there. Highly encourage you to go out and make use of that information. And then the cybersecurity, the CIS Secure Suite membership, again, it's available at no cost to all local governments, and it gives organizations access to collections of information and resources. It's a set of tools that helps users evaluate and apply security configuration settings for laptops, servers. So today I'm on a Windows 12 laptop. If it was manually configured, and it's not here at HRG, but if it were, there would be a number of settings that your local IT staff would need to know to make sure it's considered a hardened or a secure device. That they publish, I think, 144 different types of those hardening documents. Again, very much recommended. I know I just said a lot. I imagine that this video will summarize some of what I said, talking about the membership application. Post today's meeting, I will send you links. They're also included in this PowerPoint, which I will attach, just walking you through what that process looks like. I'm going to play a quick video here, a high-level overview. That being said, when you go to apply for membership to MS-ISAC, they did add a new question, I noticed. So they're asking you to kind of self-report what state your local government or organization is in, starting at level 0 being the low end, and going up to level 3, which is the high end, in terms of cybersecurity maturity. With that, I'm going to play this quick video.
Government entities of every size often face challenges when it comes to protecting their network from cyber threats. A lack of sufficient funding, increasing sophistication of threats, and emerging technologies are just a few of the hurdles public sector IT security staff face when trying to develop a robust cyber defense program. Fortunately, there's help available. All U.S. state, local, tribal, and territorial government entities can join the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center, also known as the MS-ISAC, to gain access to various cyber defense tools, resources, and services that can help enhance cyber defenses at no cost. As a member of the MS-ISAC, you have access to an advisor to complement your membership. Sign up and become an MS-ISAC member today.
Next, we'll talk about the Center for Internet Security, also known as CIS. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to enhancing cybersecurity for public and private sector organizations. It plays a crucial role in promoting best practices, developing cybersecurity frameworks, and providing solutions to mitigate threats across industries. Here's a short overview of CIS's background, mission, and history. CIS was founded in 2000 as a nonprofit aimed at improving the security posture of information technology systems through collaboration efforts with experts from government, academia, and industry. Over the years, it has grown into a trusted advisor for cybersecurity standards and tools, especially for smaller organizations and local governments, and is in critical infrastructure sectors. CIS is best known for their CIS controls, which is a framework that you can leverage, and their CIS benchmark, which have become industry standards for best practices when securing IT systems, servers, endpoints, laptops, etc. These tools help organizations of all sizes implement effective security strategies by providing not only guidelines, but also recommendations. The core mission of CIS is to make the connected world a safer place by developing, validating, and promoting timely best practice solutions for cyber defense. CIS achieves this by developing security standards and frameworks that guide organizations in implementing cybersecurity best practices, supporting state, local, tribal, and territorial, again, the SLTT governments, through partnerships and direct services. They offer tools to simplify and automate security practices, helping organizations improve compliance and operational efficiency. CIS focuses on several strategic areas. First is the critical security controls, the CIS controls, which we've already talked about, the CIS benchmarks, which we've already talked about. They work in partnership with the MS-ISAC, and they also work in partnership with the Election Infrastructure Information Sharing and Analysis Center, focused on election security, obviously a hot topic right now. There is a number of no-cost services. I'm going to dig into each of these here for a second, and then I'll play another short video. The CIS critical security, the CIS controls. At a high level, it's a prioritized set of actions designed to protect organizations for cyber threats. It's a practical set of 18 prioritized actions that all organizations can follow to mitigate the most significant cybersecurity risk. In short, it's your playbook, right? If you don't know where to start, this is a absolutely great resource that gives you kind of step by step, or these are the top 18 things you need to secure in your environment. It is constantly updated to align with evolving threats and industry developments. Again, I'll touch on the CIS benchmarks, which are configuration guidelines developed through a process to help secure operating systems, software, hardware, and cloud environments. There's over 140 configuration guides that provide secure settings for various systems and applications, ensuring your organization meets the compliance and requirements. I know we're getting a little technical here. Certainly your IT staff would recognize the need for this. These are some in-the-weed tools, but they are free, and I would highly recommend leveraging them. They also provide hardened images, as I referenced before. It's pre-configured virtual machines available for cloud environments. So if you're using things like Amazon AWS or Microsoft Azure, there's a number of security settings that the untrained eye would likely not know about. These are kind of tried and true settings and hardened images that if you apply, you're in a much better spot. CIS also collaborates with organizations such as CISA and NIST, which stands for the National Institute of Standards and Technology, and other public and private partners to strengthen global cybersecurity. Its tools and framework are widely adopted across multiple industries, particularly by organizations that are smaller and SLTT governments that lack extensive cybersecurity resources. In summary, CIS plays a vital role in simplifying and promoting effective cybersecurity practices through actionable frameworks and partnerships. It works and continues to work to influence the cybersecurity standards globally, specifically in the CIS controls and the CIS benchmarks, which are used by organizations of all sizes to improve security and achieve compliance. With that, I'm going to play another video here that kind of summarizes CIS, Center for Internet Security.
Since our founding in 2000, we at the Center for Internet Security have always had one mission. It's to create confidence in the connected world for people, businesses, and governments. As a nonprofit, we do this by drawing upon our core competencies of collaboration and innovation. The world is changing, cyber threats are evolving, and IT resources are limited. All you want is a way to strengthen your cybersecurity programs efficiently and effectively. Let CIS help you with these efforts. We use a consensus-based process involving IT professionals from around the world to develop and maintain security best practices. These resources are proven to defend systems and data against threats, both on premises and in the cloud. We also strive to help organizations of every size and maturity strengthen their cybersecurity programs. This includes serving U.S. state, local, tribal, and territorial government organizations. At CIS, we're all about making the connected world a safer place. Visit our website to learn more.
CIS also has additional fee-based services, so these are not no cost, but they are low cost. Again, if you were to go out to the market on the private side looking for any one of these solutions, that price tag would probably shock you. CIS does a really good job of keeping it a reasonable price point, understanding who they're working with. The first one I'd like to talk about is the Herbert Network Monitoring and Management Platform. It's a cost-effective intrusion detection system, or IDS, available to all SLTT entities, including election organizations, critical infrastructure, and public education. This service is committed to building and maintaining the most comprehensive set of detection rules and signatures in order to quickly and accurately identify threats that impact SLTT entities. They also offer a more robust SOC. It's a managed security service. Again, it's a 24/7, 365 SOC that provides a cost-effective logging, security event monitoring of existing devices, including, but not limited to IDS, firewalls, switches, routers, servers, endpoints, web proxies, everything that's in your environment, they can watch for a fee. As you recall, MS-ISAC has a free version of this. This is a kind of a step up from there, but might be something that you have interest in depending on the size of your township. They also have an endpoint security service. It's device level protection, so it would sit on all of your endpoints, think desktops, laptops, iPads, etc. It offers device level protection in response to cybersecurity incidents. It provides active defense against both known, which would be signature-based, and unknown, which would be behavioral-based malicious activity, as well as effective defense against encryption or malicious traffic. Fully monitored and managed by, again, a team of experts within the Security Operations Center. This service includes various measures to protect all of your endpoints. They also have a beefed up vulnerability and risk management service. It's a cost-effective vulnerability management solution for networks and web applications that includes penetration testing. Depending on your maturity level of cybersecurity, you may be doing some level of penetration testing. Again, if you go out to the marketplace, those are not inexpensive activities. Highly recommend, if you're going to be doing that and paying for it, leverage some of the fee-based services for CIS. They'll tend to be on the low cost and not on the high cost side. They also have a what they call a marketplace or cyber market. It's a ability to improve your cyber posture through expert guidance and cost-effective procurement. So it's working with industry to say, we have a great tool, we have a great suite, maybe get a better price point. They work directly with CIS, understanding their audience, again, to get the price as reasonable as possible. They also offer an enhanced MDBR, which is Malicious Domain Blocking and Reporting Plus, very similar to MS-ISAC's version, except this is the pay-for version. It's quick to configure, easy to deploy, cloud-based DNS service available to all SLTT government organizations, private hospitals, etc. Highly recommend leveraging these services. Last but certainly not least, I want to talk a little bit about CISA, which is the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. It was established as the nation's cyber defense agency to help secure and protect U.S. critical infrastructure from physical and digital threats. Quick overview of CISA was formally established back in 2018 when President Trump signed the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency Act of 2018 into law. It emerged from a reorganization of Department of Homeland Security, transforming what was previously called the National Protection Programs Directive, NPPD. I promise these acronyms are almost over, into operational agency with much more focused on cybersecurity. The mission of CISA is to lead the national effort to understand, manage, and reduce the risk of national cyber and physical infrastructure. The agency serves as the national coordinator for critical infrastructure security and resilience, focusing on building capacity across federal, state, local, and private sector to prevent cyber attacks, detect incidents, respond effectively, and recover from any disruptions. CISA is structured and operates under the DHS, Department of Homeland Security umbrella, but it's divided into several core areas. One being Cybersecurity Division that handles all risk assessments, cyber hygiene programs, and cyber tools. The Infrastructure Security Division, which focuses on physical safety of critical infrastructure, think water, wastewater, and the Emergency Communication Division that ensures communication systems are being protected as well. CISA has a number of no-cost services. They also provide what's called a cyber hygiene service that does vulnerability scanning, web applications. If you're using web applications, they have a tool that will scan that as well. They have a number of assessments that can be leveraged to figure out where you are in the grand scheme of cybersecurity posture. They provide training and exercises. We talked about tabletop exercises, penetration testing. They offer a whole suite of services there as well. They also have a number of partnership programs and advisory services, again, working with industry beyond the CISA umbrella. And they provide incident response and emergency support. So in the event that things go poorly, and I certainly hope they do not, and you have an incident, you would have a partner in CISA to reach out to and help you navigate through that cyber incident. They also have a cybersecurity performance goal assessment. I'm going to show a short video on that. It's a dashboard of sorts or a report card. You can use that to kind of benchmark yourself on if you're becoming more secure. I'll stop talking and play this quick video.
Today, cyber threats are not just possibilities, but realities. Because of this, proactive and comprehensive cybersecurity is imperative for our nation's critical infrastructure. From healthcare to agriculture to clean water for drinking and sanitation, and even schools that educate the nation's future, we all rely on critical infrastructure every day. But our infrastructure is often the target of malicious cyber attacks, which can have detrimental impacts when services are disrupted. That means critical infrastructure entities need strong cybersecurity. CISA offers valuable free services to help critical infrastructure owners and operators stay informed of weaknesses and recommendations to fortify their defenses. One of CISA's free offerings is our vulnerability scanning service. This is a no-cost service that regularly monitors and assesses internet-connected assets to evaluate their health, checking for thousands of vulnerabilities, weak configurations, configuration errors, and weak security practices, including known exploited and ransomware exploited vulnerabilities. By enrolling, critical infrastructure owners and operators can stay informed of potential vulnerabilities and get prioritized recommendations to fortify cyber defenses. With this information in hand, critical infrastructure owners and operators can make prioritized, risk-informed decisions to protect their assets from cyber threats and disruptions. Using CISA's Cybersecurity Vulnerability Scanning Service, critical infrastructure can significantly reduce risk. Organizations enrolled in this service typically reduce their risk and exposure by 40% within the first 12 months. Most see improvements in the first 90 days. Avoid surprises. Because the service looks for exposed assets, it identifies vulnerabilities that would otherwise go unmanaged. Sharpen response based on insights. Combine new vulnerability insights with existing threat detection and risk management efforts to increase the accuracy and effectiveness of response activities. From basic asset awareness to daily alerts on urgent findings like known exploited vulnerabilities, CISA has you covered. Get started today. Visit CISA.gov/cyber hygiene services to learn more and enroll your organization.
CISA is broken into regions. I believe everybody on the call here today is dialing in from Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is in Region 3, along with Virginia and West Virginia. CISA's program of work is carried out across offices across the nation by personnel assigned to 10 regional offices. To contact your regional office, you have the information right here. The Region 3 director is William Ryan. If you wanted to make contact to become a member, you would reach out to the Regional 3 office. If you had any media questions or needed after-hour support, also some email and phone numbers there. I know I'm being redundant. I can't stress enough. This may be tailored to a more technical audience. In the event that you are unfamiliar with your technology organization, your IT organization, I would highly encourage reaching out to those, finding out if you're already leveraging MS-ISAC, CIS, or CISA, and if not, certainly get that ball rolling. Again, I'd be happy to help out in any capacity. If you have questions along the way, if you need me to link you in with somebody at any one of those 3 organizations. My email address is listed there. There's a QR code, not a test. It's a clean QR code. You can scan and get to my LinkedIn profile, and I'd be happy to connect. Before closing us out here today, I do want to take a moment to tease 2 of our remaining webinars coming up in Q1 of 2025. Part 2, the human element, which is highly important in the world of cybersecurity. The saying goes, you're only as good as your weakest link, which is often the human element of your organization. We'll be doing another webinar on Wednesday, January 29th, from noon to 1 o'clock. Duration will be similar today, somewhere between 45 and 60 minutes. The overview will focus on, again, that human element, learning as much as you can about creating a culture of security awareness within your team and departments. After that, we'll do another one in March 26, 2025, from noon to 1, duration about 45 to 60 minutes. Talking about the foundations of cybersecurity for Township. So hopefully by that point, you've already engaged with the 3 agencies that I talked about today to leverage some of the low and no cost services. We've gotten you through the the human element, taking seriously, training up your staff, your teams to make sure cybersecurity is front and center. And then this will be the foundational stuff. What are some tactical things that you can do beyond those free services to prevent cyber attacks and foster that security first mindset within your township? I can't thank you enough for hanging out with me here over your lunch hour. Really appreciate your time. Again, feel free to reach out via LinkedIn, via email. I'd be happy to assist you in your journey of becoming more secure. Hope you have a remainder of a good day and a remainder of a good week. Thank you so much for your time.